Okay, so these were the two questions that you said that you had trouble with, and I hope I'll be able to help you through this video. So the first one is a line has slope 27 and passes through 210. What is its equation? So we know that, sorry, that was the, so we know that the equation for a line is mx plus c, with m being your slope. So we can start with that because it's given to us as 27. So we can plug that in to our equation. We'll get this. However, the last thing we need is the y-intercept. And luckily, we do have some coordinates here that we can plug into the equation as our respective x and y values to get our y-intercept. So that would be like that. Because you have a value of x equals to 2 and y equals to 10. Now, we can just solve for c. And we'll end up getting negative 44. And our complete equation would be y equals 27 x minus 44. Right. Now, this can be a little tricky and might be a little hard to see, but since this is a multiple choice question, you do have to cross out the answers that are not right. So you can see that this one is not right because the gradient, the slope is not 27. The value in front of the x is supposed to be 27, but over here it's 8. So we cross this one out, and this one is not quite right either. We cross that one out because if you look at the value in front of the x, it has to be 27 according to this line equation. We know that's not right. So what about these two? Well, I actually didn't really think about that. Well, if you rearrange this question to look like the y equals mx plus c equation, you'll get negative 10y equals 27x plus 2, negative 27x. You'll end up with something like this. And that's not quite right either because the number in front of the x has to be 27. So we can cross this out. Now, this would be the right answer then. And we can see that because if you actually expand this answer, you'll get y minus 10. Oh, I'm gonna rewrite it, but I'll show you why this is the right answer. Well, as you can see from the equation we got, you will be getting something like this, right? If you expand the brackets, 27x minus 54. Now that's already a good sign because 27 is in front of the x. Now you move the 10 to the other side, you'll get the same line equation we just got. So that's why this is the right answer. Okay, sorry if that seemed a little confusing. Anyways, for which x value is the tangent line to f of x equals 12x squared parallel to y equals 12x minus 30? Okay, Now, I'll assume that you've learned about derivatives. And derivatives is basically the m, the slope of that line. Like, for example, okay, you know how to, I'm assuming that you know how to take the derivative of something. Like, so if we were to take the derivative of this equation, you'll only be left with 12, right? Because this is 0 and this is going to be 12 times 1, something like that. So you'll end up with 12. Okay, now for which value is the tangent line to f of x equals 12x squared? Okay, now I think if I draw this, you might be able to visualize it better. So 12x squared would look, 12x squared would look something like this. It would be a curve. Right, and this is, and this is just a line equation. It would be something like this. Oh, dang it, I missed that. Oh, well, it'll be like this, right? This is your line, y equals 12x minus 30. Sorry. So we are trying to find the x value where these two equations meet, right? Now, how we will be able to do that is if we find the derivative of the curve 12x squared. Finding the derivative of the curve will allow you to know the slope of every, like if you, it'll allow you to know the slope of like every tangent line that touches it based on every x value. It's basically just your m. Like you're trying to find the m, the gradient, or the slope, of this, and we are doing that by taking the derivative. I don't know if you get that. I'm pretty bad at explaining it, but I'll show you my process. And eventually we will get the answer. So the derivative of 12x squared is 12 times 2x2 minus 1. So you'll just be ending up with 24x, if I'm not wrong. Yep. So this is basically our m. Now, if you look at the line, just like as I said before, 12x minus 30, we can rewrite this with its values. It'll be like this, right? So if you take a closer look, we have two m values, and we can, if we equal them to each other, we'll end up finding our x. If you like this. So 12 equals 24x, because this is our m value and this is our m value. They're both m values, so we can equal them to each other because they are touching at that spot. Then you just solve for x. You'll end up with 0.5. And that's how you get the answer. I'm sorry if I do get a little confusing because I only know how to do this stuff, but I'm not very good at explaining. So I'm sorry if you don't get some of them. Just let me know if you have any questions.